Hey guys, today I'm going to be talking about my experience during my first semester of law school and my thoughts going into the second semester. For those of you who don't know, I'm a 1L at University of Maryland. If you want to hear more about my background and process of applying to law school, I'll have those videos linked below. I'm planning on vlogging a couple of my days as a law school student here in the upcoming semester, now that I have a better grasp on what I need to do and kind of my limits as a 1L. But let me know what else you want to hear about my law school experience. So my expectations for my first semester of law school, or just in general, was that it was going to be a stressful environment with a lot of work that needed to be done, and honestly I could say that it met my expectations fully. The reason why it was stressful was just because you have this one exam, and for your core classes you have one test, and that's your final grade. So just having one thing judge your knowledge and grades meaning so much during your 1L, it made a stressful environment. And as well, you were probably comparing yourself to other people, what they were doing, their studying habits, how much they were studying, and that kind of just was disheartening. So probably the best tip to help manage the stress: follow what you think is best for you. As in, if you know that you can read X amount of pages a day and that gets you through the day, then do that. If it's studying 6 hours a day for one subject needs to be done, then do that. Once you start comparing yourself, everyone gets stressed and everyone's asking questions, and it just creates that stressful environment that what law school is known for. So my first semester of law school was a typical law school semester for any 1L that didn't have parents as lawyers or kind of that knowledge of what law school would be like. And like I said, it was a lot of reading, very stressful environment, but you made friends, you joined clubs. So yeah, I'm very happy that I attended law school. I'm even happier that I chose Maryland as law school. When I first came, I didn't know what I was expecting. New environment, new place. And it being in a city, I've never lived in a city really. I've been close to the city, but never lived in one. So it was definitely a very unique experience. However, you might not have time to explore the city or where you're living. But you want to make sure that when you do have time, it is a fun area or there's stuff to do around, just to help you relieve some of that stress that you're going through with law school, especially when you find a group of friends that you can do it with. I think law school is a pretty weird experience, especially when you're first starting with everybody else. You go from not knowing anybody in the class or the section that you're in to spending a lot of time with them. You're taking classes with them, you're studying with them, you're getting to know them, and you start to find your group. I found my group pretty quick. I feel like I definitely have like a couple close friends that I definitely hang out with. However, you're in a section, and depending on how big your law school size is, your section can range from 15 to 30 people. My section's about 20 people, but our section is pretty close. We all get along, we all hang out with each other, and it's a pretty cool section to be part of. So that was pretty easy. Everybody's going through the same experience. We're all in the same boat. So you guys pretty much bond over that, and you bond over classes, you bond over that, and then from there, just a natural friendship blossoms. Or another way to like find some friends is also getting involved in clubs. And I joined 3 clubs. One club was the business club. That's a club where I think I want to try to run for something eventually. The next club was the Latin Law Student Association. Just trying to find some people that maybe have the same experience as me, becoming as a first generation Latino student, or even just as a first generation law school student. And then the third one was International Law Society. My favorite class was contracts. I came to law school for expanding my business knowledge, and the courses that we took were civil procedure, contracts, torts, intro to legal research, and lawyering. Lawyering is just how to be a lawyer, how to write a memo to discuss an issue that you were assigned. Civil procedure was very interesting. However, I don't want to litigate. As of right now, I don't want to litigate, so it wasn't like a top interest of mine. And then torts, deals with personal injury, like how to sue somebody. You definitely learn some interesting topics, but it just still didn't pique my interest. And then there was contracts with business. I'm very business oriented with my major, my life choices, and just that's what I've always been around. It was very fun. Also, the professor is one of the best professors I think you could have during your 1L. He's been doing it for 17 years. He's taught a lot of students. He's been to Germany teaching And also, every time he comes into class, he is very enthusiastic, there for the students. He's there to teach and make sure that you become the best lawyer you can for contracts. Every Friday, that was the only class we had for our section, and even if it was rainy, sunny, beautiful outside, he's like, where else would you want to be besides this contracts room? And that kind of just helped us, especially during the end of the semester when we were definitely feeling burnt out. But kind of just looking back of my 1L, I don't think I would do anything differently. I enjoyed everything. I'm kind of a person that you make your choices and you live with them kind of situation, so I wouldn't change anything. I guess if I had to give a tip to my old self, maybe was just read more before law school started. If you maybe haven't read a lot, or that wasn't what your major consisted of, just to get that reading stamina up, because you're reading a lot of pages, like I said. So maybe just read more before school starts. So now looking into my second semester, I think some of the lessons I learned that I could carry on to my second semester from my first semester is just making sure that I stick to my reading schedule. I try to stay about 2 days ahead of class reading, so if all my classes on Monday, I would try to finish that reading on Sunday or Saturday, and then Sunday readings would be all my classes on Tuesday, so on and so forth. There were times during the semester where maybe I could have, or I should have, read Monday and Tuesday classes on Saturday, then Wednesday and Thursday on Sunday, and then Monday, Friday classes to have that rest of the week to study, create outlines, and review. And also work on any writing assignments, because you also have to put those in somehow. So yeah, so I think maybe just sticking to my reading schedule, and if I need to change it instead of just sticking to a routine as well, because you need to be flexible. So some additional thoughts, I think going into second semester, still going to be a very challenging semester. It's not like your first semester of 1L is the only challenging time, it's the whole year. So that's going to be very difficult. It's probably going to still have some ups and downs. Taking 4 court classes with constitution, criminal, property, an elective class that can either be a seminar, but I chose a more lecture type course, and a lawyering course where you write and you do public speaking. Some of the thoughts that are going into my second semester to help me be the best student I can is sticking to my routine, and when times get tough, ensure that I'm using every minute possible and prioritizing what's important and what's not, and just staying ahead, because once you start slacking or start suffocating with the amount of work, it's definitely hard to get out of, and you don't want that to happen, especially towards the end of the semester. If worse comes to worse, you feel like you're getting stuck behind, just take a weekend and get out of that hole. I think that's probably the biggest thought that I will make sure that doesn't happen to me. I don't think it did this semester, but that's always in the back of my mind, is to make sure that I'm not drowning with work. I'm looking forward is to get back into the classroom with my friends. Having classes with them, experiencing new things would be cool, but the 2 courses that I think I'm most looking forward to, or I'm looking forward to the most, is my business class. You get to learn more about how business and the law interact, but criminal, it's always, you see all these legal shows, criminal shows when they discuss stuff, so having more of that kind of knowledge would be cool. And those are my thoughts going into my second semester as a 1L. I'm also in the process of applying to internships/externships, and once I'm further along in that process, I'll definitely create a video for some tips and tricks on how it's going and what I thought was best for me. But thank you for watching, and I hope you guys enjoy. Hit the subscribe button.